Hey, thanks for joining in, and thanks for the new subscribers, all you followers. Appreciate it. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate if you help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Um, Help me get there, folks. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm going to try to keep this story as short as possible. And obviously, if you clicked on here, um, you'll see that um, I had major back surgery, which I did. I had a 3-level fusion, L3 to S1. It was about an 8-hour surgery, and I it sucks to not be able to continue your career of what I've enjoyed doing. I was passionate about it. I enjoyed waking up in the morning, driving to my job site and running the project as a union sheet metal worker. We got to do some really, really cool mechanical jobs out there. A lot of them were pretty intense, very um, a very, very high tech systems that we were installing. And so, a quick story. When I was 5 years old, I fell, 12, 14 feet down onto a concrete floor in a home my father had built back in 1972, but the accident happened in 1974. I was born in 1969, so that would put me at 5 years old. In those days, they did not have an MRI machine. They had X-ray machines. They didn't see any broken bones. And from then on, I had back pain. Always back pain. I remember those first few weeks. My parents were out of town. Neighbors watched myself and my younger sister. And I remember we're just kids. I think I remember jumping over like our little suitcase. And when I landed, the pain was so intense. And in those days, you don't say anything. You pretty much just keep to yourself. And I don't know. That's just how I grew up. That's just how it was when you're, I don't know, a Gen X. And so fast forward, by the time I was by the time I was 18 years old, I had a major back spasm. I remember I went to tie my shoe. A lot of people, you literally take your back for granted. People that you see like bend over and tie their shoes, or people don't even bend their knees, using all their back up and down or picking something up the floor. You don't realize until you have an actual back injury. So when I was 18, I went to tie my shoes. I fell down to the floor and coiled up in a ball. I couldn't even move. My back was spazzing so bad. And I remember I was still at home and my mom's like, "What the heck?" And we ended up, I think we went to the ER, an emergency, a clinic, not the actual hospital emergency room. And they basically told me, it's like, yeah, you're having muscle spasms and this and that. So I believe they referred me to a chiropractor. And I had already graduated high school. So they referred me to a chiropractor. And I remember, they do the x-rays, do the analysis, what's going on. And he found some major herniated discs of L3, L4, L4, L5 at 18. And he put a plan together, and he started working on my back. I don't know if he did an adjustment that day. I don't believe so. I had to come back, and I was going 3 times a week. And I remember him saying, "Goes, it's gonna hurt more the first couple days, before it gets better." And he was 100% true with that. So I would say by week 2, I had 6 visits. He was able to knock me down to twice a week. So I did that for like 2 more weeks. So now we're a month in. And before you know it, there was a little bit of relief going on. And I pretty much, I felt a little bit better. I always had, like I said, I always had my back pain, but I got rid of those spasms. And he was telling me I was doing the wrong thing. I was doing heat versus ice. He says do ice to get the inflammation down. There was no drugs involved, no pain meds or anything like that. And so I would say by month 2, it turned out to, he's like, put it this way, it's kind of like you kind of need like an oil change periodically. So I was going once a week on month 2, and then before you know it, by month 3 we got myself down to like once every 2 weeks, and then I think it was month 4, 3 or 4, probably 4. We finally got me to once a month, and I would come in once a month. And if I needed to come in because of working very aggressively, physically hard, and my back was acting up, I could just go in at any time. And those times did happen, and I did. Okay, now we fast forward to, and I saw this chiropractor for about 20 plus years. Moved around, seen another chiropractor. I was like, oh man, there are some bad chiropractors out there. I'm just gonna say it. Be careful. There are some rough ones. I'm like, oh no way, dude. I am not coming back to you. You are not. Yeah, you're not great. So by the time I was in my 40s, I got into like weight training, bodybuilding in my younger years, like, even from high school time. And I started getting stronger, building muscle. The legs, I had very weak legs for many, many years. And I was pretty much forced in my late 20s, early 30s to really start hitting my legs and getting them stronger. So now let's fast forward. I'm this big old bodybuilder now. I was actually, my wife and I, we left Illinois, and my back was just like, oh man, this is going to be rough. I need to find a chiropractor out in Colorado. So we moved out to Colorado in October of 2013. And I just remember my back was it was so bad. The pain was so intense. It was pain I never felt before. It was a different kind of pain. And by the time we moved from like Colorado Springs, and we moved up to Denver, and the pain just kept increasing. I found this chiropractor, and he practiced just like my old chiropractor back in Illinois. And after 2 weeks seeing him, there was zero improvements. So he he ordered an MRI for me to take. And after the MRI, he just told me, he goes, Eddie, I cannot touch you right now. I'm going to send you to this other clinic, this surgeon, neurosurgeon. They do a lot of injections and epidurals and steroid injections. So I ended up going there. So I did that. And you talk about judging a book by its cover. So the doctor sees this big muscular guy. I was 245. I had 19-inch python arms and big legs, just a big old bodybuilder. And like I said, I was just starting to train for my show up here, one of my first shows in Colorado. And I remember it was a leg day, And the next morning, nothing was the same. So that day was literally the time I broke. Like literally, it's like breaking the camel's back. And I remember getting my first injections. The gal's like, "Do you want anesthesia or anything?" I'm like, "No, just shoot my back. Just put the needles in my back." They did a little local, and I'm like, "No, I got to drive home." So and I actually drove home afterwards, and they did a few injections. I don't know. I ended up having a couple different types of injections, different areas of the back, and nothing worked. Everything failed. And then now it's like, now what? And then you're referred to see another doctor. So between that, it's more or less, I'm doing physical therapy. I'm doing acupuncture. I'm doing dry acupuncture. I think I had another round of injections just to see, well, maybe another round will work. And nothing was working. And I was with this big company. I was able to work for this huge company out here in Colorado, and big mechanical shop. They're across 3 different states. Obviously, you could probably figure that out if you live out here. And I was there for 2 weeks. All I remember, like literally every morning, this is no BS because it was still, I think, April or May. It was still a little cool out, so I was able to wear a sweatshirt, but I actually wore my weight belt underneath. I'm taking like 6 Advil, 5 Advil, 2 times a day. And that didn't even cut it. I mean, I'm literally just like, my eyes are just in tears. I'm just trying to fake my way through my day, working with all these guys. And that was when I was seeing the chiropractor, and he said, "Oh, you got to get an MRI." So at that point, I told the guy leading the job, superintendent, I says, "I got to get an MRI." He goes, and I kind of gave him a little bit of insight what was going on. So he basically said, "Well, you can't come back without a full work release from your doctor." And I'm like, "All right." So after that, like I said, I already then ended up doing all these injections, and nothing was helping. Put me on like some pain meds. That really wasn't doing anything. I was taking them just to try to get some of the pain off of me, the edge off, just so I could like at least sit through a meal at home. My wife and I, for over a year or two, we couldn't even go out to dinner. I can't sit for too long, especially if it's a wood chair. Absolutely not. It has to be a cushion chair, even still to this day. It's got to be a comfortable chair. So moving forward, fast forward now, the whole year of 2014 was literally trying every treatment that you could think of under the sun to try to relieve this pain. And then I was taking different tests like CT scans, and then they were doing a scan with like some iodine, and they were doing I did some facet blocks, and I can't remember what was the name of that test. They're trying. What the test was. They didn't tell me what level they were in putting the needle. And again, I didn't take any anesthesia. And the doctor's like, "Are you sure?" They're like, whatever it was, I would never take the anesthesia. You had to stay awake. I think this one test, and this was a test for the insurance company. It was bullshit. And they would stick the needle in the back, shoot this iodine, and basically the liquid or the iodine, if your disc is in good shape, it'll look like a cotton ball. It'll look like a perfect cotton ball cloud. Perfect. Well, 3 of my discs, L3 down all the way to S1, the iodine like just sporadically spread all over. The discs was basically just gone. There was nothing left there. And it was kind of cool because I know he did L2, and you could see like just a cotton cloud, like it was like a cotton ball in my spinal cord, which I thought was pretty cool. So it's like, okay, well that disc is okay. but the other ones were horrific. And then that was enough to get back surgery. So this doctor, he was going to perform back surgery, and then I don't know, all of a sudden, literally the Friday before the surgery was supposed to be on this Monday. Then they say, "Oh, we're out of network," and it's like, we went over all this stuff. You said because of what was going on, my insurance would have covered it. Apparently not. And the way he was going to do the surgery, he was going to go through my stomach and the side and all this. He was going to do it differently. And it was going to be pretty major, very major surgery. And so when that happened, that was a real bummer. That just, it's like, holy shit, I want to get back to my life, fix me and get me back in the field. So then I was referred to another surgeon that was in network. And he was a high profile surgeon, has a 98% success rate. And showing them all gave them all the tests, all the paperwork from 2014. And now we're, like I said, we're in 2015. So we're in January now of 2015. He's talking about other athletes he's done, and now they're making records, powerlifting. I'm like, oh, that sounds great, because he's seeing this big guy sitting in front of him. I was still a big guy. I think I might have lost from the very beginning. I think I was down to 225. Still decent sized guy. And 5'10" and a half, let me remind you, that's how tall I was. I was that height from high school all the way up to 45. And he says, yeah, we need to do a 3-level fusion, and we'll do cages and do rods and screws and all that, so where the bones will fuse. It wasn't going to be a bone graft. It was going to be a cadaver. And, we set the date. It was like February 6th of 2015. And the surgery was very extensive. I like I said, I wasn't awake. What he told my wife, he goes, yeah, it was worse than we thought. Like I said, it was about an 8-hour surgery. And then now it's about, okay, let's heal. I did everything by the book, what I was told I needed to do, so I could heal properly and get back out there and enjoy life, hike, camp, canoe, rock climb, ski, whatever I enjoy, all the things I enjoy doing. 2 months go by. So right away, I think it was like week 2, I started physical therapy, 2 or 3. It was pretty quick. Maybe it was 3 or 4. I honestly don't recollect that. Started physical therapy, starting out small. And like I said, my legs were like, I was losing strength in my legs. That was the biggest fear. Like, am I going to be able to keep walking? Because in those days, before all this stuff, I'm being pushed around in a wheelchair. If we want to go in public or do anything fun or whatever, and then sitting in a wheelchair was beating the shit out of my back. And it was like, you can't win. No matter what you do, you try to get up, you're in pain. You sit down, you're in pain. You try to walk, you're depending on a freaking cane and all this shit. And it was just, I'm starting to lose my identity of who I am. So by a month, I think I was at 2 months of physical therapy. I couldn't step up on the box. I didn't have the leg strength. It was 1, painful, and 2, the strength I didn't have. And trust me, my legs were freaking strong as hell in those days. So I was losing, strength, and I had weakness, and a lot of it affected on the right side of my body. And so now I call the doctor, and, I go see him, and he pawns me off to someone else. He goes, I don't know what to tell you. You could go see this doctor. And then in the same, company, physicians group. And I saw him, and he looked at all my stuff, and he was like, well, I didn't do the surgery, so I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you. So basically, I was just thrown to the side, and I fell into the 2% of this doctor, and it was just a spiral downhill for me mentally. And now knowing the fact, now I had to take these stupid drugs, pain meds, every day. The only one thing that the surgery did was allow the pain medicine to actually like kill the pain more. That's what it did. Because they cut out more of my vertebrae. Because I had severe spinal stenosis. They're thinking that was from birth. And, my back was just jacked my whole life. And then it was just a breaking point where it ended up. So, on that note, now I can't go back to work. My back is shit. What do you do? What do you do with your life? And, so then you felt, then I, file for SSDI. And I got denied. And then I remember calling him, like, are you kidding me? Didn't you get all my doctor's records and all this stuff? I remember when I went back to the chiropractor, he was doing some manipulation on my upper, like my in my cervical and my thorax, nothing in the lumbar, and but he kept the other part of my spine in healthy shape. I could actually use a neck deal going on right now, but I got sidetracked. Holy shit! You out there, the audience, you probably remember where I stopped. But no, now I'm stuck on these freaking drugs. I got denied. And when I called the administration, I asked, did you get all my paperwork and all that shit? They're like, we didn't receive anything from nobody. And I remember going to my chiropractor. That's where I was. I'm like, hey, I got denied. He goes, what? He goes, you'll never be able to work again. He goes, you're going to be down for many years. And he goes, I got your packet right here. It was supposed to go in the mail. I'm not blaming him whatsoever. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll take that packet, because I ended up just hiring a lawyer and gave him all that information, all the other doctors' information. Just we'll let him do the job. In the meantime, now it's like, well, who the hell am I? Here I am. I'll admit it. I'm a workaholic. This YouTube stuff, it's kind of giving me, I feel like I have purpose again. And I know I don't have a lot of subscribers. Help me get there. It'd be great. I have all this knowledge, and I guess this is my way I could share with those of you out there that, maybe never bought a home or trying to get into construction. Or for this video, this is about, my career is ruined. I'll never be a sheet metal worker again. There's no, I could never even do that. Even today, even no matter how drugged up I am, that is such a physical job. Construction is very physical. So I went through my, I'm trying to keep myself together because I don't want to roll back the memories. So now I'm depressed and stuck on these stupid drugs that I never wanted to be on. Didn't take drugs. I was a pretty clean. You're in bodybuilding, you say pretty clean. I didn't take steroids. No, I was clean, natural. And now I'm seeing a therapist, not a psychiatrist, a therapist. Put me on some medicine to help with my depression. And I went in a dark world mentally, and I didn't want to hurt myself. I didn't want to hurt anybody else. I was just trying to figure out, what do I do with myself? How do I keep going? How do I move forward? And believe it or not, I was shooting at a gun range, Had a couple pistols, a rifle, and believe it or not, that was like an outlet for me. It was great. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. Went through literally thousands of shells a month, and that helped me a lot. Um, and to want to be forced out of your career is the most, for me, was the most depressing thing I ever had to go through. And you don't know where to take it from there. So I got out of that depression. I started trying to, like, I got with this men's group and they helped me 100% get out of it. I mean, I had my faith and I got in this men's group. It's, I'm going to air it. I don't know if they watched this or not. It's called Fight Club. Caleb Hart Ministries, Phil Floyd, he's the president, CEO. And it's more or less men that are going through struggles, down on their luck, or you could believe or not believe. They accept you. And I'm going to have to shout out to my buddy Chris, who helped me through these difficult times. And I would say after 2 years, so now we're in 2016, and disability kicked in. I was kind of like, I don't know. I had some great stories, some amazing miracle type scenarios that has happened to me. Very godly stuff, like it'll just throw you back in your seat. So I am faith. I have faith. I'm not a religious person at all, but I am I'm a follower. I guess I'll say it like that. And I was able to stop seeing a therapist. I was able to stop taking medicine. And life, maybe because disability did kick in, and that took the stress off of my wife. She's sorry. She stuck through. When they talk about, I did not think this was gonna. I did not think this was gonna trigger me. Let me take a sip of water. Sorry, guys. I did not think. Um, when they talk about, in your vows, for better or worse, or in sickness and health, how important it is to know that the one you're marrying, like, literally has your back. And that's no pun intended. Sorry. I'm not ashamed of these emotions. But and friends, having good friends, um, that makes a difference. Another, I have to shout out. I have to shout out to another important part of my life. Um, that helped me a lot get through this was Max. I know you watch my videos. I can't believe this is crazy. I can't believe I'm like just I didn't think this topic was going to get so emotional for me. And I know it's a long video. Sorry about that. If you're still hanging on, I'm trying to get myself together. But there's another, you know, today, if I roll forward 8 more years, say to 20, maybe 2020. Let's say that. Let's go up 6 years to 2020. And this is a big key of my life. Maybe it was 21. I'm sorry. I'm getting the date wrong. I was introduced to another pain medicine. And that medicine is all the things like buying this house and doing these little projects and that. I'm on a drug that is just helping me with this pain so much where I feel like I'm human again. To some degree. I get out of my truck and you may see me with a little hobble, a little walk, a funky funk, like a pimp walk, they call it. But this medicine is giving me just another life. It's giving me a new beginning. And I am so grateful for this. And I don't want to like ruin it. You know what I mean? I know the pain doctor, he's trying to help me out. I was like, oh, we could do some different types of injections and this and that. It's like, where you might be able to get off the drugs. It's like, then maybe you'll have to come in every 2 years. I'm scared to death to do this because, and the other gal that took care of me, I said, this is the fear. I'm mentally the way I'm wired. If I feel no pain, I'm going to go pick up a timber outside. I'm going to drag it myself. Am I going to damage myself or hurt myself even more? Knowing the fact I could feel some pain, I know my limitation. And so that's the fear, because I know how I'm wired. I didn't give up on life. Oh, look at that bicep. I'm kidding. I didn't give up. But the back surgery didn't help me anything. I can no longer be a union sheet metal worker. I was a sheet metal worker since 1985. Yes, I was in high school still. My summers, I was doing sheet metal with my father. But it's just a story I wanted to talk about. Sorry for the emotions. And hit that like button. Smash that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. This is where I'm going to put my focus in. Is making videos. I'm going to try to make some interesting content. There's going to be content about me personally. There's going to be content how-tos, content before you buy your first home or whatever. It's going to be a mix of everything. And it's not going to be just a one subject type thing. It's going to be all over the place. A lot of it's my personal experiences in life, my personal knowledge, and whatever I can give and share with you. I'd appreciate leave a comment. Let me know what you're going through, what struggle you're going through physically. And I tell you, anyone out there that's ever had back pain or even a bad back weekend where you blew your back out, you hear that a lot. And I hear people at the pantry, they're like, I volunteer at a food pantry. And the one gal's like, oh, I hurt my back. And she's like, I know it's nothing like yours. I'm like, this isn't a competition. Your back hurts. It's a horrible feeling when your body is not at its 100%. As you get older, you hope to be at 90. You know? And if I would rate myself as a percentage, can I say 60? Maybe with the drugs? 60%? Is that good? Is that bad? I don't know. But again, thanks for watching. I know it's a long video again. I appreciate all you new subscribers. And if you want to hear more of, like I said, there will be more stories. If you want to hear a certain topic or ask a question about anything with construction or anything else I've been through or what shows during this talk, yeah, well, obviously, if you got it to the end, things I'm going to do, I'm going to put clips of my back surgeries and what the hardware looks like, stuff like that. So they'll be in the clips. So other than that, have a great day. It's already Friday again. I think it's the 22nd, March 22nd, 2024. Yeah, long day, long video. And so we'll see you next time, guys. Take care of yourself. Stay positive. Be strong. Be fruitful. And yeah, be happy. Take care.